and we're live. And we're live for episode 25 of Slap Happy. That's right. Yeah. I just hit the cheers button for everybody who's listening at home live. Okay, just hit the cheers. Anyway, so I'm here for Slap Happy episode 25. There's a few people at home that are watching this live. I want to say hello to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. To everybody who's just listening kind of to the pre-recorded version of this show, hello to you also. Okay, welcome. So this is episode 25 of Slap Happy. I made it, a quarter of a century, fucking oath. Let's go, baby, let's go. Look, to be honest, when I started this in September, October, I was kind of just happy that I got one episode out. Then it was like, 5, then it was 10, and all of a sudden I'm at 25. And I honestly don't feel like I'm going to be stopping anytime soon because I feel like I'm just kind of getting started on this journey. And I'm loving every fucking second of it, and I'm learning a lot. Like it's the most beautiful shit when you actually think about kind of like getting from A to B in terms of a skill set and in terms of like a mastery, right? Like it's so hard to start something, but once you start, it's like it's just you get comfortable with the process, you get comfortable with the journey, and it's just so beautiful to look back when you kind of reach a milestone like this and go, oh shit, I actually did something. Like I actually achieved something, I actually improved, like my skills actually grew in this period of time. And if you look at if you go back and look at my first podcast episode to kind of where I am today, where I've got a fucking camera here, I got lights, I got the live over here, I got, the Rodecaster Pro here, I got this nice mic. If you go and look at even 25 episodes ago to now, the quality, I think, is, miles away. I think the delivery is miles away. And, I'm just learning all these things all the time. And it's fucking, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to be, spending this time on oneself, honing your skills, putting out work, shipping the work, and just, committing to that journey of, learning and growing skill sets. So, to everyone who's out there on the live, I can see he's commenting. I just can't see the comments. I'm going to have to check in with these a little bit later, but I appreciate everybody who's watching right now. I wanted to say welcome, and I wanted to say thank you to everybody for your support. Now, for the majority of the people in the Twitter community who follow my trading results, I've been very quiet of late. There has been a lot of people, hitting me in the DMs and, kind of reaching out to me and such. And I just wanted to say thank you so much. I see all of you. I see, I see you guys reaching out. I see you guys making that effort. And, it means a lot. Like none of those messages kind of go unnoticed. None of those messages go unnoticed. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for your effort. I am kind of in a bit of hibernation at the moment. I am kind of like rebuilding. I'm doing a lot of work behind the scenes on myself, on my trading game, and trying to kind of get a few things lined up and kind of in shape. So that it's taking probably longer than I would like, and it's a little bit stressful at times and such, but it's part of the journey, and I'm here for it. Anyway, I'm just going to double check this because I think this pause due to poor connection. That's a bit annoying. That's okay. It's pause due to poor connection. Hopefully, it says it's trying to reconnect. Hopefully, they'll come back at some point. But if they don't, that's cool. So before I kind of like travel on here, I just want to say, if you're watching this on YouTube and you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. That would be super cool. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, a little bit of an update on where I'm at with this business that I'm trying to kind of build with my brother. We're in the process of putting together a podcast production studio where we kind of we're aiming to work with people to try to help them tell their stories. That's our main goal. There's a few other elements connected to that we're trying to put together and work on. So it's more of a package deal for like a business owner or an entrepreneur or, artist or, basically anyone who's out there who kind of wants to put a story together. Yeah. So ideally we're going to be working with local people in the community, artists, as I said, small business owners or, anyone who's kind of trying to get something started. We're basically trying to work with people like that to help them tell their stories. So, that's what we're doing here at Looters Media. If you're someone out there who fits that category or fits that mold, feel free to hit me up because we're in Melbourne, and we're basically, we just started this little venture because it's something that we're kind of passionate about, and we feel like we could, make some noise in that space, help some people tell their stories, and reach a wider audience. So yeah, if you're interested or keen on that side of things at all, get at me. You know what I'm saying? The other thing I was going to say in regard to that is, so in this space that we're operating in, this space that you can see now, we are working on a couple of podcasts, me and my brother Luke. So rūku, that is. So we have two podcasts. One is called Looters OT, which stands for Looters Over Time, and that's a podcast where we kind of sit down and talk about our journey as independent hip hop artists, as brothers trying to kind of start a business venture together, and all the ups and downs and the grind that kind of comes with that. And it's just us kind of being ourselves and talking about our journey, and just kind of like, it's basically for us to document the journey and kind of like have something to look back on and go, oh shit, that's what we did, that's where we came from. Or maybe, hey, that was probably the high point and now we've crashed and burned. Who knows, could go either way. So that's one, and it's kind of a longer form one where we kind of sit down and we shoot the shit for maybe like an hour, talk about footy, talk about, how, what we're thinking about, how we're going to promote the business and kind of which direction we're going to take it in, blah, 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 blah. So that's one of them. The other one is called Looters FM, which stands for Freshly Minted. And that is a show about, basically, it's a show that we're going to do every Friday where we talk about new music. We kind of go through the New Music Friday and all the latest drops and all the latest albums, with a focus on hip hop and a focus on Australian talent. And it's a show where we can just kind of sit down and be ourselves and talk about music and talk about stuff that we love. We love music, we love hip hop, we love Australian artists doing well. So it's a show that where we can sit down and, break apart some stuff that we've listened to, but it's also a place that we can kind of hang out and catch up on all the music that we've listened to that day or that week, and we can kind of shoot the shit about artists that we're interested in and stuff that we think is cool. Maybe we can pick up on new trends in the industry or new sounds or whatever. But it's just a place that we can be ourselves as artists, which is what I like to think we are primarily. So that's cool. We've got those two podcasts. Luke also has his own podcast called Superpowers, and I'll let him tell you more about that when you listen to it. But I'm going to link all these down below, so you guys can go ahead and check them out. You know what I just realized? I've been redlining this audio the whole goddamn time because I think I might have fucked this up, because on Friday night we had our very first guest come through for Looters OT. Our first guest, his name is Frame. That interview will be out, or that conversation will be out tomorrow or the day after. He's got a new single coming. We sat down, we had a little combo, and that was really cool. But Frame is a very mild-mannered young man, and he speaks very peacefully, whereas I like to talk like this. So anyway, when we fucking, he was on channel 1 and we had it all the way, we had the signal all the way up, the gain all the way up, and I've just sat down and I'm plugged into channel 1 and I've been talking on channel 1 this whole time, and I've probably cooked it. It looks like I've just the audio has been absolutely redlining the whole time. But you know what? Someone's going to be some grandma's going to cop this podcast episode, you know, she's going to be sitting down, just have a fucking nice little quiet tea and some Bickies in a couple of days' time because she's interested in like, you know, entrepreneurship or trading or whatever, or maybe she just likes Savilian. She's going to sit down and have a fucking tea and Bickies, and she's going to put this potty on, probably got the headphone, probably got the cans on like this. She's going to put it on, hit play, and just go, just spill a tea and Bickies everywhere. So that won't be fun, and I apologize for that in advance. Is what it is. Hopefully I can fix it in post. Never happens. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to put a link to all those potties below, which you could go have a look at if you like. Now, I'm just going to let everybody at home who's listening live, I'm going to let you know that this is a part of the podcast where I'm going to do a review, or a bit of a review, and talk about my trading month of April. Trading is something I do for a living, and at the moment I'm not doing it particularly well. So if you're not interested in trading at all, you can turn off now. I'll just let everybody at home know that. Anyway, here we go. So as everyone who's a kind of fan or a friend on Twitter who follows my trading journey will know, I've been a bit quiet there, and there's a bunch of reasons. The main reason isn't because I'm losing, although that would be a pretty good reason to go quiet. The main reason is because my process and the way that I was approaching my primary source of income and my main skill was, the process was very sloppy. It was really sloppy, and I felt like although like I used Twitter as a way to kind of keep me accountable, I actually don't think, I think it kind of stopped adding value to where I was and what I was doing because I wasn't addressing the problems from the root. And it was just kind of, got a bit old, jumping online and going, oh, here we go again, I blew up again. Or like, look at me go, I'm doing that fucking dumb thing again. It just kind of got a little bit boring to do that every day. I don't intend to hide anything. Everyone's going to know exactly kind of what I've done and, where I've been and the ups and downs and stuff like that and the grind that I'm in at the moment. I'm not going to hide any of it. I just didn't want to do it like every single day because it became a little bit monotonous. So I had to kind of, rather than focus on the daily wins or losses, I needed to go back and focus on the process and focus on myself and focus on getting it right from the ground up. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment, kind of gone into the shell, and I'm just really focused on the process. Now, to talk about the specifics of trading and what happened in the month of April, it was my biggest ever drawdown. And I think, I'm gonna preface this by saying I am actually genuinely happy to be where I'm at right now. It is stressful, but I'm in a position that I've never been in before. So I'm going to learn some shit about myself. Either I'm going to develop the skills to kind of find my way out of it, to kind of like rejuvenate and find that inner resilience, or I'm going to crash and burn in a very public manner, and everyone's going to have a little chuckle, which I probably won't, but my point remains. It's going to go one of either two ways, right? And do you know what? I am here for it. I'm here for it because if I don't develop the skills that I need right now to succeed in the situation that I'm in right now, I'm never going to learn them, let me preface that preface with this. Even as kind of stressful as I feel like it is from time to time, I have still got it incredibly fucking well, so when I kind of like have a moment to kind of sit down and remind myself of how good I got it, it's a lot easier to kind of go, oh, well, do you know what? It's not that bad at all. So, there's a preface and then a preface of the preface. Now, getting back to the story, April review. So my previous biggest, I'd only have had one losing month in 2.5 years of day trading full time. Now, I did did kind of lie to someone once and say that I'd never had a losing month. And that's because I don't really feel like that's a losing month. To lose $500, I lost $500, okay? Look, it's a red month, but it's like, you know, is it? I just didn't really feel like, it was like kind of in the last couple of days, I was pretty much break even the whole month. And then the last couple of days I lost, you know, $500 to have a red month. Now, technically, yes, red month, but I don't feel like it was a proper like drawdown, like I'm in the trenches, like I'm really battling, this is a red month. That's not how I felt. Anyway, I digress. This month, very different story. This month, basically, you know, I think I started the first couple of weeks, I did okay. And then basically from the third day in, I've been red and very red the entire month, to the tune of somewhere in the vicinity of 19.5K is what the drawdown is at the moment. And that's the biggest I've been in drawdown by a very, very, very long way. And you know, it's kind of has been a little bit stressful, especially because the market has really tapered off. And, you know, a lot of those big kind of, you know, volatile moves are just kind of not there anymore. Like the thing, I kind of got out of the hole in, what are we in, April now? So I got out of the hole in March on account of one crazy week, that third week, whereas F&P, ART, they just went bonkers. Now, this month, or last month, should I say, in April, those opportunities did not come up. You know, at least not to that tune. And even when they did, I was too busy kind of like flopping around and chopping around to really take advantage of them. So any opportunities that came, I kind of like, you know, missed because I was just so kind of preoccupied with over trading and just, you know, being a bit of a doofus, to be honest. So when I say my process has been something that I've had to really go back to and really think about and really hone in on, it's for that reason. It's because even though I've been successful, even though, you know, I have found consistency in my results, the process and the way that I've got there has not really been satisfactory. It's kind of, you know, my success has really been predicated on good market conditions. And we're talking about like 12 solid months of good market conditions. When the market has been not so great, when the volatility is dried up, when things have got tougher, I haven't had the right discipline and skill set to adjust. And that's a problem, you know? Someone who I respect a lot, a trading friend said to me, you know, you just, you know, with all respect, he said, you haven't adjusted. And I said, yeah, you're right. I haven't adjusted. Like I need to adjust. It's like, you know, it's like I'm like kind of trading with shutters on. Like I'm not looking around and going, oh, you know, mate, it's like you don't go for a jog on Saturday when it's sunny as fuck, right? You don't go for a jog in singlet and a shorts, right? And then the next day just go for a jog in singlet and shorts again because yesterday was sunny. No, you fucking have a look at the weather. Is it raining? Is it cold? Should I wear a sweater? Should I wear trackies? Do I get the beanie on today? All right? Am I double socking it? All right? You have a look at these things. You adjust for the weather conditions on that day. Now, similar thing, I just haven't adjusted, right? I just haven't adjusted. I haven't looked around. I haven't, you know, kind of opened my eyes and properly processed what's in front of me or around me or next to me. You know, I've just kind of gone, do you know what? Ah! And, you know, I think that is a little bit of a, what's the word? I think that's a little bit, there's some remnants there of my past self, my gambling addicted self. I think there is some remnants there of a person that I used to be and that I've been for a very long time. This person who's very reactive, who's not very process driven, who's very emotional, right? And that person has been there, and it's you know, he's had his use case because like I've needed him to kind of like push the envelope in certain situations. But now that the market's quiet and now that I'm in like a different phase of not only trading, but also my life, it's like, bro, I don't need you no more. I don't need you. Well, I don't need you right now, you know? And a big thing that me and my brother Rūku were talking about a lot at the moment kind of between us is what got you here won't get you there, right? What got you here won't get you there. a lot of the skills or the personality traits, or the person that I think that I was, or the person that I thought I was, who protected me and got me through my 20s, and that person is not required to the same extent right now. The person that I need right now is someone who's slower, calmer, calculated, formulaic, thoughtful, proactive, resilient, strong, tough. That's a person I need right now. So I'm in a big kind of readjusting period where I'm not trying to like learn anything. I'm not trying to like fill myself with knowledge. I'm not trying to fill the cup up. I'm trying to kind of let go. I'm trying to let go of some of these past traits. I'm trying to kind of find a bit more peace in my head and my heart, just on a daily basis, because I feel like I've been go, like learn, more is more, more is way more is even more than that. And I've always thought that kind of if I look like I'm moving, then I am. If I look like I'm doing something, then I am. Whereas like, I actually think it's, at a certain point, it kind of becomes the opposite. It kind of becomes, all right, let me just slow the fuck down. What do I really need? What's really going to push the envelope forward for me? Just kind of like going at that properly rather than doing a whole bunch of shit and hoping that it works. So yeah, bit of a transitional phase, bit of a kind of learning phase, or unlearning phase, I should say, at the moment. And yeah, it's just kind of, I'm happy to be here. I would say that kind of like, it does have its moments of stress, but it's all teachable. These are all teachable moments, and it's all stuff that I'm really, I'm grateful for, So anyway, that's just a kind of little bit about where I'm at with trading now. Yeah, as I said, probably 19 and a half in drawdown last month. This month I've started to grind it back. I think the problem was that I just kind of like, instead of just like, you don't have to have a fucking 5K blow up day. You can have 500 and go, all right, I learned my lesson, move on. But it was like too much, bullshit, kind of like superseding the moment and kind of creeping in and just kind of, dousing gasoline all over the flames. Really setting that motherfucker up, setting a light. So anyway, that's a little bit about my April review, my April trading review, and kind of where I'm at on this journey. Now, I did kind of want to talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I've kind of been watching and viewing of late. And I'm just going to keep this brief because I don't want to make these fucking podcasts like 78 minutes or whatever. I know that some of you like that shit, and that's cool. I get that. But it's a long time to talk. And more importantly, it's a long time to edit. And it's a long time to bounce, and it's a long time to upload, and da. Okay? I know that's very selfish of me, but it is what it is. So UFC Chat and Footy Chat is what I got written here. And it's because I just kind of wanted to touch on, I just love talking about these things. I love talking about fighting, or UFC specifically. I love talking about footy, rugby league specifically. And I didn't really have anything that I really wanted to kind of say, but I just want to say I love them. I just love them. And Henry Pham, I can see you said something, but I can't actually read what it is because I'm trying to shoot this live right now. I'm trying to shoot this potty right now, but hopefully I can have a look at that later if I get to see it in the replay or whatever. But I appreciate you, G. But anyway, to this UFC chat, I watched a fight on the weekend by a guy named I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but his first name's Yuri, Jiri, and I hadn't heard of the guy. And he fought Dominic Reyes, and he won with this absolutely brutal. Henry, if you want, just send me that in my DM because I can't really read it right now. But thank you. yeah, he won with this absolutely brutal spinning elbow. And it was like, dude, it was a disastrous blow. It was so heavy. It was so well timed. It was so fucking good to watch. If you're like into the art of martial arts, if you're into like good combat sports, and Jesus, you need to have a look at this spinning elbow, because it was art. It was art straight up. The timing, the precision, the strength, the power, like everything was just so spot on. But this guy in particular, Yuri, man, I went and watched a bunch of his other fights. I've kind of watched a bit about him since watching that win. But I just love everything about him. Like, I love the way he moves. I love his attention to detail, but also his kind of like, charisma in the middle. He just has like these really unique angles that he takes, and the way that he has these quirks, and I just kind of loved everything about him, because I feel like he's a perfect representation of the way that I see martial arts. And for a long time, before I actually knew what martial arts were, I saw it as a very, I kind of saw it as just a blood sport. Like just meatheads kind of beating each other up. I didn't all I saw is like, what some kind of media outlets would portray of it as like this, bloodthirsty kind of like thing, right? So I had a very limited view of UFC and martial arts. But as I kind of have, got deeper into this world and kind of learnt a bit more about it and met some people and kind of trained in some of this stuff myself, the more I just realized that like it's a world that's kind of very, very much based on respect. And it's a world that's very much grounded in respect and kind of like earning your dues and hard work and all the things that I really, really, really rate highly. Martial artists rate these things incredibly highly. There's nothing more important to them than respect and discipline and hard work, and I just fucking love that. Like, I just love that. And like the tenacity of some of these guys, the resilience of some of these guys to kind of get up day after day and like, absolutely destroy their bodies, and put themselves through absolute agony, for this greater dream. But also just kind of the humility that they show on a day-to-day basis. Like, we're talking about some really quaint, peaceful human beings that could murder you in a second. But, they prioritize being respectful and being a good human being over, a lot of other stuff. And I'm not saying this goes for every single person, but I think it definitely goes for the majority of martial artists who take it seriously. And I don't know, there was something about watching that Yuri guy fight that just kind of like really, I don't know, captured my imagination, in a similar way to UFC 261 a couple of weeks ago with Kamaru and Rose and Anthony Smith, and just kind of the back and forth that him and Jimmy Crude have shared, and the respect that they kind of have had between the two of them, and how Masvidal ended up fucking getting put to sleep, but then got up and went shouted Kamaru out for putting him to sleep, and didn't hold back from kind of like being real about it. And, you just kind of see that all over the place when you really have a look at mixed martial arts, and kind of you look at the elite guys, you kind of see this just, this really, really, really big theme of respect and honor. And man, I don't know. I just feel like, a lot can be learned from a lot of these people. Obviously there's going to be shitty people amongst that group, but that's in every single sport. But I think for the most part, martial artists are so, committed to respect and humility that, there's a lot to be learned from a lot of these guys. They're all very, very smart, very well spoken as well, for the most part. Anyway, that's my little chat about UFC. And look, I'm just going to throw this in here because I love the fucking Parramatta Eels. But how could we looking at the moment? Like, let's be real. Let's be Parramatta real. You know what I'm saying? The boys are looking great. Shout out Gutho. What a king. The Mo's off the chain. He's just looking good. He's looking great. Sivo's looking good. Fergo's looking good. Moe's looking good. Dylan's looking good. fuck, everyone's looking good, to be honest. The whole Parramatta lineup's looking good. And I don't want to be one of them Parramatta supporters that just gets G'd up every time we start looking good. But I tell you what, I just feel like this year's different. Said every Parramatta supporter every year for the last 30 years. Do you know what? I just feel like this year's different, eh? Yeah, it's this one. This one's a year. But yeah, I'm not sure if it actually is. But look, I just feel like we haven't really, like last year we kind of shot out the blocks and then came home like real bad. But this year, I feel like we're flying under the radar a little bit. I feel like everyone's still a little bit like, oh, they did that last year, they're not going to do it, you know. But I feel like we look way better or just kind of more consistent, you know, and I don't want to throw shade at Wonga Blake, but the edge that he was on has kind of stopped leaking points. You know, I don't know. It's obvious that something has changed, and I'm not going to say it's just him, but you know, I think we're starting to get our shit together, and you know, we're all kind of working more as a unit. The defense is really looking good. The attack is really starting to click, and everyone's playing their role. So yeah. Just quickly, we got to. So as I said at the beginning, we kind of shot OT with Frame, our homie, and should be out in the next day or two. He's actually putting out a single called Fire on Friday, which is going to be the first single off his new EP, and it's really good. And I'm really proud of him, and I'm really happy for him. And I think that this EP is going to be really good for him, and I think he's on a really great trajectory. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So if you see that interview or you see his song, check them out because you know, they're nice. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. I'm gonna fucking sign off, if you know what I'm saying. Hopefully I haven't blown the audio to smithereens, and hopefully hopefully things are still okay back at Savilian Slap Happy HQ. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in to Slap Happy. This has been episode 25. If you liked what you heard today, please like and subscribe. And also drop me a comment. Just let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought. And let me know how you're doing. And yeah, thank you very much. And I'll speak to you very soon. Peace.